I was telling us, today is Kids Day. The whole month of July I've been doing something different. So we had Musicians Day with Dennis and Ross. Last week we had the Court Council Day. We played Jeopardy with the whole board. That's the Court Council, aka the board. Today is Kids Day, and next week will be Practitioners Day. And then in August we get back to normal, such as it is around here. So today is Kids Day, and first of all, I would like to acknowledge the adults. Anybody in this room who has ever taught any of our children here, if you'll stand up for a minute, let us give you some love. Any of us, anybody who was ever a child here who was taught, stand up. So Carol was, Bob, weren't you a kid here? Bruce? All right, and all the kids in the front, that's right. All right, and anybody who's ever taught kids in a school setting, stand up. Okay, kids, look around at all these people that are standing up. These are all the people who are there to help you grow up. Your teachers, your church teachers, right? All right, thank you. We just wanted to give you some love. So in the Bible, in Jesus' teachings, we find this phrase, this teaching. He says, unless you become like little children, you won't be able to enter the kingdom of heaven. Okay, now, from what I understand about the teachings of Jesus, it doesn't mean literally you have to become a kid to go to some other place. Let's remember first that the word heaven in an Aramaic translation is not referring to a place. It's referring to a state of being. It's a godly state of being. It's a joyful state of being. It's a trusting quality of being. So entering heaven is entering that state of trust and trust. That's my time. That joyful, godly, blissful state of trust. So Jesus is saying, unless you become like little children who are naturally more trusting, who are naturally more spontaneous, who are naturally more creative, who are naturally less judgmental, unless we become like that, we're not going to ever enter that quality of trust and joy and godliness, if you will. That's really the message that's being conveyed there. So we need to take on more of what they've got, especially when they're little. There's a story, the kids would like this story, I think, too. It's a story about a 5-year-old girl who her baby brother is born. And when the baby brother is born, the little girl keeps asking Mom and Dad, I want to spend time with my baby brother alone. And Mom and Dad are a little worried about that because they're thinking, I don't know, is she jealous? Is she going to hurt him? Because sometimes it's hard when a new baby comes in the house. And so the little girl keeps asking, Mom and Dad, can I have some time with my little baby brother alone? Finally, they agree. And so they leave the door just a little bit open. So the little 5-year-old girl goes into the crib where the little baby boy is sleeping or resting. And then as the parents peek through, what they hear the 5-year-old girl say, she leans over and she says, baby brother, please tell me about God, because I'm starting to forget. When you're little, you are more closer to God than you will ever be, because you are natural. When you grow up, and here's what a lot of us grown-ups know, is that the world starts to teach you other things. The world starts to tell you have to compare yourself to other kids. The world starts to tell you that you have to measure up. Who got better grades? Things like that. Who's better at soccer? Comparison and measurement. Somehow the world starts to make us wonder, are we good enough? Are we good enough? You as little kids know that already. When you get a little older, and I'm sure that some of you are a little older already kind of know what I'm talking about. The world starts to tell you that maybe you're not good enough. And you question it. And by the time we get to be adults, we have all these responsibilities. And those responsibilities and our life experience sometimes makes us a little cynical. Cynical means kind of hard. Makes us a little bit tough. Makes us not have the joy that children have. It makes us protect ourselves a little more. It makes us a little more fearful of the world. So sometimes kids, if your parents tell you they don't want you to do something because they're afraid, It's really because they love you. But they're a little bit afraid because they've had the experience of, well, maybe something could go wrong. And, okay, so that happens, and to a certain extent it needs to happen. As adults, we need to take on the responsibility. Nothing wrong with that. But what Jesus was saying is that if we want to have that sense of trust in God, if we want to have that joyous, childlike feeling, we need to be more like little kids. And so it's wonderful for us grown-ups to understand that and to hear that again. It's basically saying if you want to have the heavenly state, take on more of those, or maybe reclaim more of those childlike qualities. Or maybe for some of you, claim them for the first time ever. Claim a sense of childlike quality. I want to tell you guys right here that you are each born as a child of God. You've probably heard your teachers tell you that. But it is so true. You were each born as a child of God. Yeah, you came through a mom, but you were born as God's child. And every single one of you are unique. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody else, no matter what anybody says. You are unique. That means you're special. Special not in the sense of I'm better than you. Special in the sense of just the way I am. Like we tell you every Sunday, we accept you just the way you are. You're special. You're unique. As you change, as you grow up, you're going to change. But you have something inside of you, and I call it your God-given gift. Your job, as I see it, is to find what that is. Not to try to say, what do these teachers want me to learn, and what does everybody else want me to be when I grow up? Your job is to say, what's my God-given thing to give to this world when I grow up? You may not know what it is now, or you may think you know and it may change. So Richard, you got the clicker?
Yep.
So, when I was that old,
Yeah.
that's me. Look at the face. I was 6 in that picture. How old are you now, Ella? I was that's how I was, same as you are right now. When I was that old, I did not know that I was going to grow up to be a minister. I had no idea. Here's what I did know when I was that little. I liked to play teacher. When I was a little kid, I liked to play teacher a lot. It was just my fun game, but I'd get the kids in the garage, all my friends in the neighborhood, and I was always wanting to be the teacher. Luckily, my friends didn't mind being students. So something in me knew I was going to be a teacher. So after this, I became a dance teacher. Obviously, that's a dance costume. You can't see my feet, but there's tattoos on my feet. I didn't know I was going to grow up to do this job. But something in me just naturally wanted to be a teacher. So I've been a dance teacher, and now I'm teaching this spiritual stuff. But I didn't know. So that little girl had potential. You only see me as a grown-up. But that little girl had potential, and that little girl is just like you. Every single one of you have potential. So pay attention to the things you like to do right now. What do you find yourself playing teacher? Do you find yourself playing dentist or doctor? Do you find yourself pretending like you're like a policeman or a firefighter or something like that? Do you like to paint and draw? Are you an artist? Do you like to sing, dance? Pay attention to the things that you really like to play, because chances are those are the things that you're going to grow up to give those gifts to the world. And that's a really good thing. And lastly, what I want you kids to know, and I don't know, whatever level you can hear this, don't let this world squash your dreams. You have dreams inside of you. And as you grow up, people may say, oh, you can't have that dream. You know, while you're kids, you have to listen to your adults in the world. But something inside of you, don't let them squash your dreams. Keep your dreams inside of you. And you will grow up to give the most beautiful gifts to the world. It makes me want to cry because I see the potential in you. And I think we all do. So I just want to read one more thing. And this is from the man who created this philosophy. And imagine that he's talking to all of you. Reverend Carol asked you to, she asked all of you to connect to your childlike state. So I'm going to ask everybody to connect to that childlike state and listen to these words of Ernest Holmes. You can say it to yourself. He says, I have an inner understanding of my place in this universe. I know that it is unique. The divine, this is another name for God, God has not incarnated, become, in me, like anyone else, the way it has in me. I am unique. I do not need to imitate anyone.